All right, welcome back. This is it, the grand finale of our adjective series. And today we're going to tackle a big one, maybe the most confusing one for English learners, those pesky ing versus ed adjectives. Let's nail this down once and for all.
So, let's start with a question. Be honest. Have you ever said something like, ugh, I am so boring? Come on, you can admit it. Almost everyone has. It's such a common slip-up. But guess what? After this, you're never going to make that mistake again. We're fixing this right here, right now.
So, why is that such a big deal? Well, when you say I am boring, what you're actually saying is that you make other people feel bored, that you're, well, a dull person. And I'm pretty sure that's not what you mean, right? You mean you feel bored, and that is a completely different thing.
So how do we get this right every single time? It all boils down to one super simple rule. It's all about the difference between the cause of an emotion and the feeling itself.
Okay, take a look at this. It's super simple, but this is the absolute key to everything. Adjectives with ing, they're all about the cause. They're the ones doing the action. Think, a movie is boring. A job is tiring. See? It's the thing that's making you feel a certain way. Now the ones with ed, that's your feeling. That's what you receive. So you are bored. You are tired. It's that simple. Ing is the cause. Ed is the feeling. This example just makes it crystal clear, doesn't it? The work is the cause, so the work is tiring. The result, the feeling that you get, means you are tired. Just burn that link into your brain. Cause is ing, feeling is ed. Okay, you've got the core rule down. I think you're ready for the final challenge. This is the stuff that really separates intermediate speakers from the advanced ones. We're going to conquer those confusing pairs that trip everybody up. You got this. Let's do it. First up, the absolute classic, interesting versus interested. Just remember our rule. One is the cause, and the other is the feeling. So, can you guess which is which? And boom, this sentence just lays it all out perfectly. History is the thing causing the feeling, right? So history is interesting. And because of that, I get that feeling, so I am interested. See how that works? It's such a great way to remember it. Let's do another one. Confusing versus confused. The exact same logic, the exact same rule applies here. One is the thing causing the problem, and the other is how that thing makes you feel.
Tell me about it. This is so true. English grammar itself is the cause of the problem, so it is confusing. And what feeling do students get as a result? They feel confused. You're seeing the pattern now, right? Once this clicks, it's just going to become second nature.
All right, enough with the theory, right? Theory's good, but practice is how you really build that confidence. So, you know what that means? It's game time. Let's play a little round of the ing or ed game. I'm going to give you a situation, and you just think of the right adjective. Ready? Let's go. Okay, first scenario. Picture this. You just pulled a 12-hour shift. The work itself, the cause of how you feel. The work was exhausting, for sure. So, if the work was exhausting, what's the feeling that you have now? That means you are exhausted. Exactly. Cause and effect, you're getting this. Let's do another one. Okay, next up, you're on the couch watching a really, really bad movie. It's slow, nothing is happening. The feeling you have right now is you feel bored. And why? Because the movie, the cause, is incredibly boring. You got it? Okay, last one, and this is a personal one. Imagine me in Paris trying to order a coffee with my terrible French accent. The whole situation, what would you call it? Oh, it's absolutely embarrassing. No question. And because the situation is so embarrassing, I feel completely embarrassed. Perfect. You totally nailed this.
See? You did awesome in that game. You really get the rule. So how do we make sure this sticks forever? Let's wrap up with a quick and easy action plan so you never, ever mix these up again.
Here it is, your simple 3-step plan. Before you speak, just do a quick mental check. Step 1. Ask yourself, am I talking about the cause? If you are, use ing. Step 2. Ask, am I talking about the feeling? Yep, that's your cue for ed. And finally, step 3. To really lock this in, just practice one confusing pair every day. That's it. Make one sentence with exciting and one with excited. You'll be a pro in no time.
And just like that, that's a wrap on our adjective series. You now have the key to use these words with total confidence. So from now on, your English is never going to be boring, it's going to be interesting. Go out there and have some fantastic conversations knowing you won't be confused. Seriously, you're sounding more impressive every single day. Thanks so much for joining me.
All right, welcome back. So instead of doing a dry review, let's just dive straight into a real-world scenario. You're going to see how mastering these two little endings, ing and ed, can make a huge difference in how you speak English.
Okay, let's set the scene. We're in a kitchen with our friend Lukas, who's decided to cook dinner. Now, the source material actually calls this a terrifying idea, and you're about to find out why.
So pay close attention to that first adjective here. The water is boiling. You see that? It's describing an action, something that's happening right now. The water's bubbling, it's hot, it's an active, ongoing process.
And there it is, a huge crash. Now listen to the word choice. The noise itself, it's the cause of a feeling. It's creating an effect, right? That noise is shocking.
And what's the effect of that shocking noise? Well, Lukas is shocked. See? This describes the feeling he has because the pan dropped. The noise was the cause, his feeling is the effect. Simple as that.
Oh, this is another great example. So the food is actively burning on the stove. That's the action happening right now. But when Anna walks in, what does she see? She sees the result, a burnt steak. The action is over, and now we're left with the result.
So here's the key takeaway from this whole mess. The situation, Lukas is cooking, is the cause of Anna's emotion. That means his cooking is frustrating, and because of that, Anna feels frustrated. One thing causes the other. Okay, that kitchen was a total disaster. But you know what? It actually gave us every single clue we need. So let's break down what we just saw and turn it into a simple, practical rule you can use every single time.
It really just boils down to asking yourself two simple questions. Am I describing the cause of a feeling or the feeling itself? And am I describing an action that's still going or a finished result? Let's look at a few more examples to really see how this works.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. On the one side, you've got the cause. A movie can be the thing that makes you sleepy, right? So the movie is boring. And the result? The feeling that you have is that you are bored. Same thing with work. The work itself is tiring, and as a result, you feel tired.
And this one shows that other use case so clearly, action versus result. The boiling water is still bubbling away on the stove, but once you cook an egg in it, what you have is a boiled egg. The action is done. A falling tree is something you need to run from, right? It's happening now. A fallen tree is just lying on the ground. The action is totally over.
All right, you've got the rule now, so let's use it to tackle some of the most common and, honestly, confusing pairs that trip people up all the time. Getting these right will make you sound so much more natural.
This has got to be the #1 mistake. If you say, I am boring, you're saying that you are the cause of other people's boredom. What you almost always mean is that something else is making you feel bored. So you'd say, I am bored. This is more than just grammar, you know? It's about not accidentally insulting yourself.
Okay, this sentence is basically a perfect cheat sheet. Just remember this one. It shows you both sides of the coin. The feeling you have is that you are interested. And what's causing that feeling? The history itself, which is interesting.
And it's the exact same logic right here. What's the source of the problem? The grammar. So the grammar is confusing. And what's the end result for the students? Well, they feel confused. Cause and effect. It's that simple.
All right, you've seen the kitchen disaster, you've learned the rules, and we've gone over the most common mistakes. It is time to put it all together and test your skills. Let's play a little game. Okay, take a second. Think about it. What's the cause here, and what is the feeling that results from it? How would you describe the work? And then, how would you describe yourself? Exactly. The work was the cause, so it was exhausting. And the feeling you have now is that you are exhausted. Perfect.
Here's that classic movie situation. So how do you describe your feeling, and how do you describe the movie that's causing it?
Yep, you got it. The movie is the cause, it's boring. Your feeling is the result, you feel bored. See how easy it is when you just ask that one little question? All right, one last one. Let's go back to our friend Lukas. Imagine he's struggling with his French. How would you describe the situation itself, and then how would you describe how he feels?
That's it. The situation is the cause. It's embarrassing. The feeling Lukas has is the result. He feels embarrassed. You have absolutely nailed this logic. So really, the one thing to take away is to always ask yourself, am I talking about the cause or the effect, the action or the result? Once you get into that habit, you're going to get it right every single time. So, was this little explainer interesting? And are you feeling interested enough to use this everywhere?
All right, let's talk about one of those things that can really trip you up when you're learning English. I'm talking about those adjectives, the ones that end in ing versus the ones that end in ed. You know the ones I mean. And honestly, getting this right can totally change the meaning of what you're trying to say. So let's dive in and get this cleared up once and for all.
So, have you ever been here? You're trying to explain how you feel, and you kind of pause and think, wait, which one is it? It seems like such a tiny little detail, but trust me, the difference between saying, I am boring and I am bored is, well, it's massive. One describes a temporary feeling, and the other describes a not-so-great personality trait.
I just love this quote. It's a perfect rule of thumb. It's playful, of course, but it really drives home why this matters so much. See, this isn't just about correct grammar. This is about communicating what you actually mean and not accidentally calling yourself a drag to be around. Okay, so to really get a handle on this, let's break it down into two simple parts. First up, we're going to look at adjectives that end with ing.
The ing form really only does two jobs. It either describes the thing that is the cause of an emotion, or it's describing an action, a process that's happening right this second. Let's look at some examples of both, and it'll all make sense.
So, first, let's think about it as an active process. If you talk about a falling tree, what does that mean? It means it's coming down right now. You should probably move. Same thing with boiling water. That's not just any hot water. It's water that's actively bubbling away on the stove. That ing tells us the action is happening as we speak. Okay, and the second job for ing, it's to describe the cause of a feeling. So if a movie is boring, it is the thing that causes you to feel bored. If your work is tiring, the work is the thing that causes you to feel tired. The ing word is the source, the thing that starts the whole feeling.
All right, so that's the ing form. Now let's look at the other side of the coin, the ed form. And you know what? If ing is the cause, then ed, that's the feeling.
So here's the absolute key. The ed form is all about the end result. It's either the feeling that you get because of that ing cause, or it's the finished state of an action that was just happening. Let's go right back to our first examples. Remember that falling tree? Well, once it's on the ground, it is a fallen tree. The action is finished. And the boiling water that cooked your egg? Now you have a boiled egg. The process is complete. You see that connection? One is the process, and the other is the finished result. And right here, this is where it all clicks into place. That boring movie, it makes you feel bored. You are the one who receives that feeling. That tiring work, it makes you feel tired. So the person or the thing that is experiencing the emotion, that's who gets the ed adjective.
Okay, so we've looked at both sides, right? Now, let's just put it all together into one super clear, super simple rule that you can use every single time. This is really the main takeaway here.
Just look at how clean this is. On the left, you've got ing. That's the cause. It's the thing creating the feeling. And on the right, you've got ed. That's the feeling itself, the result. The boring movie causes you to feel bored. The tiring work causes you to feel tired. The arrow shows you the direction. Cause leads to feeling. It's as simple as that.
And that's really the heart of it. It's all about whether you're describing the cause of the feeling or the feeling itself. Once you get that down, you're going to feel so much more confident. So I'll leave you with this question. Using our new words, what makes you feel interested in learning English? And what part of it is the most interesting to you? Think about it. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.